Hello everyone and welcome to F1 Challenge Career Mode, part 25 I think, and today we are going to France at the legendary Magny-Cours circuit. A very fun race. We had a good time last year and some great battles last year as well. I think with my teammate, it was Ralf Schumacher at the time obviously, but this season we are looking to continue our winning streak. We're 3 in a row now. I'll now hand you over to the commentator.
Just before the free practice session begins, let's take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship. Mika Häkkinen is running away with the Drivers' Championship. The McLaren driver, second. Schumacher, third. Well, that covers the drivers. Let's take a quick look at the constructors next. McLaren lead the Constructors' Championship and arrive here having finished a legendary 1-2 in the last race. Can they do it again? Ferrari are second. Williams are third. Located just a few kilometers south of Nevers, the Magny-Cours circuit combines several short straights with an interesting selection of turns, hairpins and chicanes. Like the Spanish circuit de Catalunya, Magny-Cours is a modern facility built specifically for motor racing.
Right, so we jump into a very rainy Magny-Cours as we exit the pits, and we actually spin as soon as we exit the pit lane with too much throttle, so that's a bit embarrassing to start off the practice session by doing a spin. But in this session not much was achieved because of how wet it was, and I gave up on the wet session pretty quickly. But the only other thing to happen was that when I started my flying lap I had a very high speed spin and then hit the wall, so it's a pretty big accident there. But then in practice 3 I think it was sunny and dry, and we started to take some good pace, 17.2 with 12 laps of fuel on board. We're no longer going for the really heavy strategies anymore. We're going to go for a more 50-50 kind of approach because I feel that's more entertaining, and it's the car feels horrible with really heavy fuel. But we did a 15.6 and that was the best that we could do in practice. But moving on to qualifying now, and we've set a 15.7 for our first time, so there's still time to find, which we nearly find in the next lap. But then I spin going into the pit lane, which is a new way to enter the pit lane at France. But then on lap 5 of our 12 we're going to improve our lap time to a 15.5, and then finally we actually managed to improve to a 15.2, which is the best time in this session. Let's hope it's a good result.
Hello there. Welcome to France for round 9 of the 2000 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Michael Schumacher just managed to get the edge over his championship rival, the McLaren driver. Häkkinen just got the edge over his teammate. He starts from second. The McLaren driver put on a fantastic display throughout the qualifying hour. He starts this race from a very promising third. Barrichello, fourth. Schumacher, fifth. Frentzen, sixth. Jacques Villeneuve, 7th. Jarno Trulli, 8th. Irvine, 9th. Giancarlo Fisichella, 10th. Johnny Herbert, 11th. Pedro Diniz, 12th. Zonta, 13th. Jos Verstappen, 14th. Wirtz, 15th. Mika Salo, 16th. De La Rosa, 17th. Jenson Button, 18th. Nick Heidfeld, 19th. Jean Alesi, 20th. Mazzacane, 21st. Genet, 22nd.
Right, so we start in 3rd place for the French Grand Prix. We're 1 place behind our championship rival and 1 place behind the person who's behind us in the championship as we have the lights. And we are going. It's not the best of starts. Rubens Barrichello has gone past, and our old teammate is looking at us into the first turn. We're going into the first turn. We've been forced wide by the BAR there. I've had a spin, very high speed. Hopefully no one crashes into us. We're spinning around on the track, and luckily no one has hit us. So we're going to have to turn around. We're going to be right at the back of the grid behind the Minardis. We're very lucky to not get any damage there. But now we're going to move on, we're 4 seconds behind Mazzacane. But the thing I noticed here was that the AI wasn't that confident on the brakes into the hairpin. And you see how much time I'm making up. I think I might even get the last Minardi into the hairpin. And yes, we have. And we now need to look at getting Marc Genet in the other Minardi. The Minardis are horrible this season. They were way worse than they were last season. But we're lapping Marc Genet. Not lapping. We're just passing. Sorry. That was a commentating fail there. But looking at a replay of the start, you can see that my start wasn't the greatest. And our teammate was trying to fit through that small gap. We closed that off. But then there was 3 wide into the first turn. That ended up with me going onto the gravel. We were very lucky not to get wiped out by that Jordan there and the whole pack really. But we then managed to get back on circuit and back on the way. And we need to now try and fight up to get some good points. But we went past Pedro La Rosa at the end of lap 1. And we're now looking to get Jean Alesi in the Prost. The French driver doesn't want to give up much in this Grand Prix, I bet. But we're now going to try it down the inside. Are we into the last turn? No, he's gone defensive and have made contact with him there. But we're now going to slipstream him down into the first turn. Can we get him into the first turn here? We're going to go down the inside. And we've touched. And I've had another spin. Hopefully no one crashes into me. Oh, it looks like we've kept control of our vehicle this time. Just slowly trying to get back on track so we don't spin. Down into last place again. But we do pass Mazzacane yet again on lap 2 into the hairpin, and we now need to look at Marc Genet and the arrows of Pedro La Rosa. So we're restarted again, and we're going to have to pass these cars. But Marc Genet is very slow through this section. We might get him into the next left-hander. We're going to go down the inside. Yes, we are, and that's an easy move. Now got Pedro La Rosa only a second down the road, who we look at on lap 3. Down the inside into the first turn. Are we going to make contact? No, we're not, and it's a safe pass. And I am through. Now looking at a replay, we're just going to simply go in his slipstream. Now with this traffic and spins, I am losing bucket loads of times to leaders, and that's a real problem for my championship. So I really need to push now, because I've already lost something like 17 seconds to leaders. We go down the inside. Jean Alesi finally he tries to cut us off again. We've finally made the move on Jean Alesi, shut the door on him. And then we get Jensen Button at the end of lap 3. Are we? No, he's going to hold it there. But I think we're going to get him into the last turn, straight down the inside. Nice and easy. And we've now got Nick Heidfeld in the other Prost ahead of us to pass. We're up into 17th place. But now into the hairpin, we've gone straight down the inside. And we now need to look at Mika Salo in the Sauber. We're making up positions pretty quickly here. And we've already passed 2 cars there. I decided to skip that out. But we've gone past Vert. And we're going past Herbert. And we're going to go down the inside and move ourselves up into 11th place. Now I cut out the pass and like Jos Verstappen stuff because they were just simple straight line passes. We're looking at a replay here. You can see that I got the slipstream of Vert, then cut into Herbert's slipstream, and then went straight down the inside. And I was past both of them really easily. Herbert having terrible pace this season. I thought he was an alright F1 driver. But on lap 8 we're going down the inside of Pedro Diniz, and we have taken him for 10th place in this Grand Prix. And we now need to look at Giancarlo Fisichella, who we do at the end of lap 8. And we have gotten him. And now we're looking at Eddie Irvine and the Jordan there. We're going to slipstream Eddie Irvine down the pit straight. Can we get him into the first turn? We're going to go down the inside again. Have we made it this time? Yes, we have. And it's a really easy move, as we now need to look at Jarno Trulli in the Jordan. We're going to slipstream him down the main straight at the end of the first sector. Can we get him into the hairpin? We're quite far back, but we are gaining slowly. We've got 9 laps left of fuel on board, and some people ahead are pitting very soon. We're going down the inside of Jarno Trulli. We haven't actually made it past him yet. We're going to go side by side into the next turn. Who's going to get the high ground? We have the downforce and we have the straight line speed, but can we get him into the next turn? Yes, we can. And we've now got Mika Hakkinen only 2.5 seconds up the road. So they pitted early. But we're now going to slipstream him on lap 12. We're going to get him around the outside, are we? We're going to try around the outside onto the brakes. And we're actually going to go around the outside of Jacques Villeneuve, are we? Because there'll be a double pass there. But he shut us off. But we have got ahead of our teammate up into 5th. Of course, he's a whole pit stop ahead of us. But we look here at the replay. That the AI seem to have a very weird fuel strategy around here. They went very light at the beginning. And they're obviously going to go heavy for later on in the race. But we then slipstreamed him. And then we're going around the outside. There might even be 2 stopping this race. We're still 1 stopping this race. But we went around the outside. Then we tried around the outside of Jacques Villeneuve. But he simply had the drive and cut us off. However, moving on to lap 12. We're behind Jacques Villeneuve. and we're going to try and take him into this left-hander. And no, we've gone wide, we've gone on the gravel, we're going to lose the position to Mika Hakkinen again, and we're going to have to now work that back, and we're losing precious time. We've lost 2 seconds to him, and that takes a long time to catch up. Takes to lap 16 where we're slipstreaming him. Can we get him down into the hairpin? We're going to go down the inside. He's broken very early, very lucky not to make contact there. But then we've made it past him with only 2 laps left of fuel remaining in our car. So we're going to have to pit very soon. But we have made it past him, and on our pitting in lap, we're coming in now. We've actually spun on the last corner, and that's caused us to go all the way in the gravel trap. So that's lost us a lot of time. But we're now just going to have to put it into the pit lane. This very weird pit lane here. It's a very tight right-hander. But we're now going to have our pit stop and see where we come out. Now I feel that if they're doing 2 stops, we might have a chance of a very good result around here. Our teammate's been hampered by traffic though, so I doubt he'll win. But now we're going to leave our pit stop. And where's it going to resume us? Ralf Schumacher's gone past us. Frenson's gone past us. Is Jacques Villeneuve going to go past? It's going to be very close on exit. Can we get Jacques Villeneuve? We're going to keep us in the points for now. If we do, he's very close. He's going to under a second, but I think we've held it. We just keep it in the middle of the road, we'll be fine, which we do. Now lap 22, Frenson pits. So obviously they haven't filled up to the end, these cars. But then on lap 24, going to the last sector, there's a yellow flag. There's a burning Ferrari on track. So it seems that Rubens Barrichello's engine has failed. So that's excellent in terms of our championship. But that's really surprising to see him just have an engine failure. Engine caught on fire, very similar to what happened in my GP3 league. But moving on to lap 26, we're in 4th place. We're going to take Ralf Schumacher straight down the outside. Then we actually went for something like 2 seconds back in that move because of how badly held up he was in the traffic. As you'll see here, we are so far back, yet we just dive it down the inside as he's left it open. And we have taken him for 3rd place here. But now moving on to lap 29. We are behind our teammate, trying to challenge him for 2nd place this Grand Prix despite our spins. He's gone very wide, and we're going to slipstream him down the main straight. He's beside the Benetton there, lap traffic. But we're now going to slipstream him down into the hairpin. Can we get him? We're going to go down the inside. But we've outbroken ourselves, and he might come right back at us. And he has, and he's cut us off, and he's moved back up into 2nd place. And we now need to try and get him. We're in the slipstream. We're going to try down the inside. This is a personal battle here, as this is for the championship. But then on lap 31, going into the first set of turns, and we made contact with his rear left wheel, and we're spinning the car round, and hopefully we don't get hit by anyone. But there's lap traffic coming up, and they've hit into us, and they've been hit again by the Sauber. And then we're going to try and rejoin the track. We've been hit again by another Benetton. So that's a really huge accident there. That's 4 cars involved in the accident, and our car is ruined along with 3 others. So that's a really big accident there. It was actually caused by Mika Hakkinen. I'm pretty sure this is controversy here at the French Grand Prix, but it seemed to me that Mika Hakkinen actually, he braked on the exit of the corner, well mid-corner, and of course I had nowhere to go. I had all the momentum with me, and I ended up touching his rear left wheel. But you see here that the camera dips, and that's a sign of him braking, and of course that ends up with me going into him. And that leads into the huge accident, which you see here from the Benetton's perspective. He just smashes into the back of me, and then the Sauber just smashes into my front wing. It's a really big accident, and it looks like Mika Hakkinen's going to gain a load of points from it. He was completely undamaged, but after a pit stop to fix our damage, I wanted to see whether we could even salvage a point in this Grand Prix. Of course, we have been lapped because of that, and we're down in 8th place, and we're 20 seconds on Eddie Irvine. Now, it's a very boring drive to finish, especially with a really broken car. But at least we're going to finish this race. This is controversy here. I'd really like to see your thoughts on the accident. I understand it's quite... I personally don't think it's my fault because he did brake mid-corner and there was nowhere for me to go. I was right behind him. You can't just brake check someone. But please put in the comments what you think of that incident. Look at the clips over and over again as we now hand you over to the results.
After that fantastic French Grand Prix, let's take a look at the final results. Michael Schumacher first. Hakkinen second. Schumacher third. Frenson fourth. Villeneuve fifth. Irvine sixth. The McLaren driver eighth.
Yep, so here are the results. I'm sorry for the random transitions here, but I can't really help it. But everyone up to 5th place was lapped, 6th place was lapped, and Eddie Irvine yet again scores a point, so that's pretty amazing. Our old teammate gets a podium, so that's good to see, but unfortunately we've lost big points today.
With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Hakkinen extends his lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship.
Yep, so here are the driver standings, and you see that we're now 4 points behind Michael Schumacher and 12 points behind our teammate. So there's definitely some work to do in this championship. But luckily, Rubens Barrichello didn't gain any points over us, so we're in a solid third place for now and under no threat from him, as we now look at the Constructors' standings.
McLaren stay ahead in the Constructors' Championship, despite having their lead reduced by this result. Ferrari are second, followed by the third place Williams.
So we are still leading the championship by a big distance, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like if you did and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time, which I hope we can get my championship rolling again.